Now I'm going to give you guys, not theory, but actual practical strategies that you guys can take tonight home from here and implement on your Shopify store. And then next week call me up and say, Monica, I did it, and boom, my traffic's up, I'm getting sales through Google, I'm happy, right? First off, let's kick off with the first strategy, which is to build new collection pages. How many of you guys know what a collection page is? Okay. That's pretty good. For the other half of the room, the collection page is the page in Shopify where you list multiple products, a collection of products. These pages are very powerful because we don't need to just create ordinary collections. We can break down our products and our SKUs by interesting attributes that people are searching for, like the color of something, or the style of something, or the type, or other trends. If you're not sure what I mean, let's use a specific example. So first, this is what not to do. Do not do this, okay? Imagine you're like a running shoe company. What you should not do is target running shoes. Because guess what? You're competing with Nike, Adidas, Asics, all the big boys. They'll never win. I think you'll come back crying, all right? I don't want that. So don't do that. A good strategy would be understanding that we can't own running shoes. We're not going to get ranking for running shoes. So instead, we're going to pivot to mid-tail keywords. We're going to go for men's trail running shoes. Very specific. And there's still 8,000 people looking for that. It's a lot of people. Or women's cushioned running shoes. Now we're bringing in this concept of cushioned, right? I don't know who's searching for a cushion. Aren't all shoes cushioned? I would hope so. But apparently someone's like, no man, I want the cushioned ones. Okay, all right. These ones have cushions, I promise. Then best budget running shoes, like that's another thing people are looking for. So it's about understanding that I'm not going to go for the hardest keyword. I'm going to find something a little bit more specific and non-general. And this is a good strategy. This will work, but it's not great. This is great. Great understands that we're not just selling shoes, we're selling the running experience. People are looking for shoes when they're searching for other things. Like 5K race kit. There are people who want a kit. They want shoes and they want the Kit Kat and caboodle. They want all the stuff for their 5K race. That person's going to buy the shoes, the shorts, the shirt, the water bottle, the Livestrong bracelet. They're going to drop $200, $300, $400 in that cart. And that is actually a much easier keyword to rank for than any of the other keywords we've looked at so far. So think about that. Let's say 10 times easier than the other keywords, and the average order value in the cart will be 3x. This is where the money is made. Marathon day gear, another keyword that is not being targeted quite as much as the keywords we're looking at. The opportunity here is to create bundles and sell kits for people that include shoes but also have other things as well. And a part of the strategy is also understanding that we can get content ranking in Google, not just web pages and collection pages, but we can do in-depth blog guides, we can do YouTube videos, we can do Instagram unboxing videos, we can do TikTok challenges as well. And this is actually what we did for a running shoe company that couldn't cut it against Nike and Adidas. We got them ranking #1 on these bundle pages. By ranking #1 on those bundle pages, they got free backlinks, which helped them build and grow the brand. So the thing is, in the beginning, you don't target running shoes, you target these keywords. Then you go for these keywords. And then you go for that keyword. Right? And then you're Nike. And then you're Adidas. And you're one of the big boys. But it's a process, okay? Example. Case in point. Collection page. We see 4 running shoe products here, which is what people are looking for. And look how we have this content at the top. Remember something, guys. Google is a text search engine. You need to have these text fields on your pages. If I see your page and I don't see some text on that page, it ain't going to rank. Google's not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. No one's going to be happy. You need to have that text box up at the top. And not just the text box. You have to optimize it. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Another example I want to show you. Ibiza outfits. This is a women's bikini company. And originally they were like, well, we want to rank #1 on Google for bikinis. Good luck. How much money you got? You got 10 million? 20 million? Then maybe you have a shot. But ranking for Ibiza outfits, there are 22,000 people searching for that. 22,000. And there was almost no competition for that keyword. And so you could rank easily for it with the same strategy. Different product, different style page, but same concept. All of these are products, and this is their collection page. And look at the top, that text box is there. Because that is allowing us to send Google the information that they need to know about, that we are relevant for the term Ibiza outfits. Okay? My next important pillar for Shopify optimization for SEO is you need to elevate your product pages. With NLP optimization, you need to do what's called entity optimization on these pages. If you guys aren't familiar with what that is, I'll show you, don't worry. It can be a little bit technical, but essentially we're using Google's own NLP APIs where Google, we're seeing how they're analyzing the content. We analyze our competitors' content, and we use that as the breadcrumb trail to figure out what do we need to put in our pages in a scientific way. We're also adding FAQs, and we're adding really descriptive product content. So I showed you the product content on the collection page, but you need it on the product page too. Here is an example of one of the best product pages that proves exactly what I'm trying to show you guys here. Look at the accordion menus. Look at the FAQs. Look at how much information is on this page. It's not overwhelming, is it? Right? It looks sleek. It looks well designed. It looks informative. Google, even if it's not visible, is seeing all the knowledge that's on the page, even if it's invisible. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure Google sees all the information, because that gets us ranking. But the user is not being overwhelmed. So this is a great treatment for how we can bring all of that product description, all that informational content into the page without really screwing up the conversion rate optimization. So this page converts really well. It's got a ton of amazing content on it, and it ranks number one on Google for mushroom coffee, which is the keyword that they were targeting. And you can see this is exactly what I'm describing. So we took that page and plugged it into the Search Atlas content optimization product, which does the entity analysis for you. And you can see on the right-hand side all of these terms that need to be in your content. So for example, mushroom coffee, we got to talk about cordyceps. We got to talk about chaga mushrooms. We got to talk about a bunch of related concepts with mushroom coffee. We got to talk about the caffeine content. We got to talk about the concentration. All these concepts. Now look, I'm just one man. There's no way that, even though I like mushroom coffee, I'd never think about this stuff. I would never come up with it out of the top of my head. And by the way, ChatGPT won't either. So what we have to do is we have to take a more refined approach, use that as a breadcrumb trail to figure out what do we need to put into our content, and then we do so. And if you do it, this is the cheapest, fastest, easiest way to make any page on the internet. It could be your mom's music school. You do this for a music school? Sure, I'm better. This could be for a local service, plumber, roofer, Shopify store, everyone. It's the same aspect of the Google equation, and it works universally, extremely powerful. The next key product and the next key strategy is building your site's topical relevance. This is becoming an expert in your category. And the way that we become an expert in our category to Google is we essentially give them a knowledge base, a knowledge network around your core product area. So, for mushroom coffee, we need to be talking about all the different types of mushrooms that are out there. We need to be talking about coffee preparation. We need to be talking about every concept that people are searching for. And you can use software to help you understand what that is, like this. This is a product in Search Atlas that we use to help us understand these attributes and associations. Because we work with a lot of different brands, over 100 brands at the agency, and we can't possibly be the expert on everything. It's just not possible. If you guys have a story, you're probably experts in your subject domain, so you should have an inclination already, but this process essentially helps us come up with concepts, categories, and ideas for content that we can then write about. And when you get into it, right, here for mushroom coffee, we have mushroom coffee benefits, types of mushrooms, the health effects, how to prepare mushroom coffee versus regular coffee. Do you see what I mean? If you had all this content on your website, everyone would know you're obviously an expert in mushroom coffee. This is what is required today to be number one in Google. If you want to win, you don't have to worry about Amazon. You don't have to worry about any of those big dog competitors that you see. When you go to Google and you type in whatever that keyword is you want to win on, I'm giving you guys the breadcrumb trail to get you ranking number one for those keywords. You don't have to have a massive budget to build backlinks upon backlinks with a huge team if you understand what I'm teaching. This is the way to get to number one in Google, and I should know because I've done this for myself. I've done this for hundreds of clients, as you've seen, and this is a part of the algorithm. That's why this works, okay? Another case study, you can see this massive spike in traffic from doing this topical dominant strategy. The other thing is sometimes people, they don't want to remove what they publish, but the truth is sometimes you kind of publish the bad content on the site. It just happens. You have to be able to understand if the content is not actually ranking in Google, getting traffic, it's probably hurting you. If you've gone to ChatGPT and said, make me a blog post about the health benefits of mushroom coffee, and then you take that and you put it on your website, I wish it was that easy. Ain't gonna cut it. What happens is a lot of times people publish the wrong content, bad content, and it hurts them. And just by removing it, you can actually rank better. Can you believe that? Sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forward. You gotta remove the bad stuff. That's all we did here at the beginning of this case study, is we just removed the irrelevant content, the bad content, and rankings responded. There's a technical reason for this inside the Google algorithm leak. Google's database was leaked by someone that I work with on my team. And one of the things we learned about is how they look at our sites. If you have bad content, and if you try to talk about way too many random things that are not really related to what you sell, it'll kill you. Just like it killed HubSpot. Because you hear about how HubSpot lost a ton of their traffic? Yep. It's because HubSpot started talking about Instagram captions and kid stickers. They're a CRM. Why are they talking about IG? Makes no sense. Anyways, the next strategy is building up our site authority. So this is the conventional backlink building methodology. But rather than telling you guys go build links, I want to give you guys something even better than that. I want to show you the most efficient way with $1 to build authority for Google. Guest posting in marketplaces will get you access to high quality sites at low cost, and I'll show you an example. Press releases, you can get a press release for like $35, and that will rank on Google and boost your authority, put you on hundreds of sites. You can also reach out to affiliates. Go to Google, type in whatever your product is, whatever your main topic is, and look at the affiliate sites, the ones that say top 10X, right? Whatever your product is, look at those sites. Who's the author? Find that author on LinkedIn, connect with him, and try to get him to include you in that article. It will boost your SEO, and it'll help your brand show up in ChatGPT when people are looking for your products. And then the other thing you can do is about 100 people in this room. Of those 100 people, about half of you guys have Shopify stores. If you guys work together and you built a link for you and you built a link for her, you guys can actually help each other and build up your authority together in a community fashion. So also with your friends that are in this business, work together. Figure out how you guys can do collaborations where you promote each other's brands and you guys can actually lift each other up. It's really cool. This is the guest post marketplace I was telling you about. For $35, you can publish on over 50,000 sites that are in this list. And you can see all their metrics, all their scores. These are real sites that have traffic. These aren't random link building, what are called private blog networks. These are real publications. And this is a kind of express lane to get backlinks on the internet. It used to be forbidden by Google, and now they just sort of allowed it to happen. There are not many of these out there, and Link Laboratory is by far the biggest and the cheapest in the world. When you do that, not only will you rank better in Google, but you will also get more visible in the large language models. ChatGPT, the way it works is it indexes the content from the internet primarily through one product called Common Crawl. It's a data set. We'll talk about it. And if you have a page that says, the top 10 mushroom coffee brands. And number 1 is your brand. And then number 2, you listed all the competitors. You can actually make ChatGPT's brain see you as the number 1. I actually tested this. I made it the 52nd state in the United States. It's an amazing place called Snackatusetts. You heard of it? Well, if you Google Snackatusetts, and you do this right now, you will see all of my sites ranking there. Then you can go ask Gemini, tell me about Snackatusetts. And Gemini is going to use all the content that I publish, and it's going to tell you about Snackatusetts. The LLMs, they're not that smart right now. Use this to your advantage. This is where they get their data. And you see Common Crawl on the top left. By far the easiest way to get your brand into ChatGPT. Reddit is also super powerful. How many of you guys have a Reddit account? Yeah? You guys like Reddit?
Yeah.
No. Yeah?
Love it.
Some people love it.
I love it.
I hate it, honestly. I hate it. I think it's a socialist platform. I don't think it's American at all. Like, they moderate these subreddits so extensively that sometimes you can't even join the conversation. They'll shadow ban you because you wanted to join the conversation and say, I like this or I like that, shadow ban for no reason. It's ridiculous. Nevertheless, Google loves them, and so even though I personally despise Reddit, gotta play ball. And so the way to win, I would recommend create a subreddit for your brand. Trust me, do it. If you go to Reddit or go to Google, you will see Reddit for almost every keyword related to your e-commerce store. Reddit is ranking somewhere. People are talking about the competitors, they're talking about the products that they like, what they don't like. That data is being used by ChatGPT and it's being used by Google. And so control the narrative at all costs. Okay? Back, this one? Sure. Got it? Sweet. Cool. I love it. He's nerding out about ChatGPT. 7 p.m. on a Wednesday? Sweet. Right. To show you guys an example of this, for mushroom coffee, can't make this up. Reddit ranking with like 4 different blue links in the search results. So guess what? Mushroom coffee buyers, you may not think it, but they're looking at this content. They're looking at what people are saying about the brands. And bringing yourself into that conversation is essential today. How many of you guys have a storefront? You have a storefront? Cool. Where is it?
Bridgehampton.
Bridgehampton. Must be a fancy product. Cool.
Photography and art.
Photography and art. Very nice. One of the secrets for brick and mortar storefronts is Google Maps.
Yep.
It is the easiest way to get traffic to your website. Way easier than Google search, because in Google Maps, you're only competing with people in that circle. That's it. Not with the people internationally, not with our neighbors in California, just people in your region. So it's a lot less competitive. And the good news is, it's easy. You can rank really well in Google Maps. It's not really that hard. This is an example of a very competitive keyword. I don't want to pick an easy one, like a barber shop. Right? We have over 5,000 local business case studies. Over 5,000. Crazy. I picked one of the harder ones, which is drug rehab. Very competitive space. What these pins mean is if you were standing right there and you typed in drug rehab, this business would be number 1. But if I was standing right here and I typed in drug rehab, that business is nowhere to be found. Look at the difference. What do you think it must feel like to be that business on the other end? I know these are just charts and graphs up and to the right and red to green transformations, but remember, on the other side of this is a business owner whose life has changed forever. They're generating way more revenue. They've created new opportunities for their team, for the employees. These businesses are booming, and they've changed them forever. And you can too if you guys are going to do local, if you understand SEO. The strategy is simply to run G&B automations on the Google Business Profile. It's very easy to automate. Google My Business Profile automations. Automations, yes.
I didn't understand the concept that you just tried to explain about the difference between the left and the right side.
Okay, so he was asking about the difference between the left and right side. It's just a before and after, right? So this is where they used to rank back in May, and this is where they ended up ranking a couple months later.
You're saying
Yep.
then only like those green will show up, but if you open a house first, then it will show up.
Right, so we'll explain one more time. If you were standing right here, right, and you typed in drug rehab into Google Maps, this business would be the first thing you saw. First thing. But if you were standing over here, right, if you lived in this part of town or that part of town or that part of town, these guys are nowhere. They're nowhere to be found. When you optimize the Google My Business, you begin to rank in a way larger region. So maybe before there were only a couple hundred people that would see this in a given month. Now we're talking about thousands of people who are seeing it because it's number one in Google Maps, all outside. This is outside of San Antonio, Texas. So this is a business that is booming, right? Green good, red bad. Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask you, what does the automation mean when you're dealing with profile? Can you explain that?
Sure. I'll be brief about it. We've got content on YouTube that unpack that, how it works, how to do it, all the theory behind it. If you look for search Atlas on YouTube, the GMB automation is essentially fixing all the key components of the Google Business Profile, which means your business name, your description, your question and answer section on the GMB posting, publishing to the GMB regularly and consistently with your keywords, responding to the reviews that your customers leave for you, using the keywords you want to rank for. Those are some of the most important layers. And I'll give you one other tip. And this is, by the way, all in my SOPs that I provide. Also including the map on your website. Embedding that map on your site so you're connecting the website to the Google My Business profile. Because Google has what they call a web score for every Google My Business